Alright, welcome back to In the Corner. Today we're talking about psychology and several famous experiments. I'm your host Skylar. These guys are
Sumner, KnowBros,
and Joey from KnowBros. Joey_KnowBros at Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter.
Really? Created all those different accounts?
I did.
With the same username? Nice. Okay. Alright, so the first experiment we're talking about is pretty famous by now. The Stanford prison experiment by Dr. Zimbardo. And for those of you that didn't heard, we will link this one in the description so you can watch it yourself. But basically, a psychology professor at Stanford got some student volunteers to run a prison in the basement, basically. And it was a test on how people would react in a position of authority, and then how the people who are being repressed, I guess, by the authority, how they would react. And keep in mind that this was during a time with a lot of protest, anti-Vietnam stuff. So it's not like these kids were just I don't want to say pro-American, but they were very outspoken on their hippie ways, basically, if we're going to say that. And so, obviously, from the very beginning, you would expect, they're going out protesting on the weekends, come back, and they do this experiment. You think that would carry over, but actually, human nature kind of takes over, and I guess the evil of the place of the test sort of overcame any good that they had. I'll just go over a little bit of what happened real quick. For example, one of the prison guards recently he said he watched some Southern prison movie, so he played the role of whatever the warden or head prison guard guy was. So he didn't feel like he was doing those things. He was just playing a role, and he wanted to see how far he could go before the other guards or the prisoners were like, no, or stop, we're not going to listen to you. And basically that never happens. Not all the kids who got to play prison guards turned into douchebags, I guess. Some of them were still distraught and are disturbed by what was happening, but being a prison guard, they didn't want to step up and undermine one of their comrades. And then the interesting thing of the prisoners was that they sort of got separated as they were underneath in the power structure. The guards were able to turn them on each other. If one guy started acting out, they'd say, oh, thank this guy for all the extra manual work you have to do.
That's like the military.
And coaches. God.
Yeah, we're bringing that up on my next one. But yeah, basically like that. But I'll just go through it real quick. The military is breaking everyone down to the same level to create a family. This is not what you do in the prison. You want to basically make them submissive and to keep them in control. And it gets out of hand. Zimbardo plays also the warden of the prison, so even he isn't immune to the situation. He hears rumors of a riot, and he immediately moves to prison and stands guard and questions when one of his co-workers come in, questions them and tries to hurry them out the door so he can be ready for the prisoner that got out and his friends to come in and try to break it up. So basically everyone gets carried away in the roles they're playing. And before we go any further, your guys' thoughts on how this made you feel, how it could happen?
I think it makes sense because you're trying to keep your power and you're trying to stop the people from taking the power away from you as like a guard, and then as the prisoner, you want to challenge that to see what you can get away with, and sometimes it backfires.
Well, that
But
But
most of the prisons didn't. Most of the prisoners didn't test. Most of them didn't fight back. Why do you think?
Because it makes your situation easier if you don't have the eyes on you, I guess.
I feel like the prisoners were kind of awestruck when they got, because I mean, for the most part, the people who are playing the prisoners probably have never done anything that deserves them going to prison before. So being in that situation all of a sudden, I'm pretty sure they were just like in shock at how real it was, because the way it was played out, and the guards, the way that they acted out, I think they felt like they, or of course they were, but they felt like they were in power. So they were empowered. They could do almost pretty much anything they wanted to and get away with it. So I I think it's a pretty good experiment. It's smart, but yeah, okay, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And then also in the video, it goes over the Milgram experiment, which was done earlier, maybe like decades earlier, before for the Stanford one, where it was researchers wanted to test how people were able to do horrendous things such as the Holocaust for the Nazi Party and all that. And you'd be a teacher, and then the learner would be the actor, the control, and basically you'd have to ask them a question, and then they get it wrong, and you have to shock them and turn up the voltage and keep shocking them until eventually you kill them.
Jeez.
And the people were, most people like did protest, but they're like, I don't want to kill this guy. Who's in charge here? Who's gonna take the blame? And then the man in the white coat would be like, I'm in charge here. I'm responsible. Keep going. And basically, the majority of the people would keep going until they killed the person. Which, go ahead if you guys want to say anything about that.
Well, it's pretty much they're pushing the responsibility to the other, because they wouldn't do it if they had to take responsibility, but since they don't have to, they're like,
they feel like they're not, if they do end up killing the person, then they can be like, well, he told me to, like, it's not my full responsibility, like, it's not my fault that the guy that I shocked him to death, dude in the white coat, says it was okay.
Yeah, so if you lived in Germany and you were forced to enlist into their army and your SS officer was telling you to gun down or burn these people, could you see how those young guys would be able to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Also because, I mean, from birth, or I mean, when the whole Nazi thing started, they were all kind of brainwashed into believing they were better than everyone. So it was already, I think, from their point of view, pretty easy to just do it. And then when you have SS officers pushing you to do it and telling you that it was right, then definitely easy to do it.
well, it's also, I feel like in that type of situation, because they'll torture you or whatever if you don't do it. So it's a feeling of better them than me.
Yeah, more of a
self-preservation type of thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully. So, from the results or from what you saw, how would you judge the human condition? People, basically?
People are shitty.
Well, no, you can't pass blame because you might do the same thing, but I mean, it's good to go out and voice your opinions if it's real and you're not, just doing it for the media hype. But honestly, if you found yourself in the situation of whatever you're protesting, you would go against your beliefs, basically. To be honest,
I think it depends on what it is, because if it's something you really believe in, then like even if you're put in different shoes, you might still feel the same. But if it's something you're doing for the heck of it or for the hype, then the truth comes out when you're put into that situation.
So no, the 70s was, those kids were all anti-authority.
Oh,
They screamed them
you're
and
talking
everything.
specifically the 70s hippies.
No, just today, now, anytime.
Most of these people that are out today protesting would instantly turn on the people
Oh yeah.
if it was to save their own skin.
Yeah, because a lot of the protesters nowadays are fake. Like
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
three of the people, like maybe three in the crowd are like actual protesters. Everyone else is there because it's a protest. It's like it's hip to do that nowadays, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, another thing is that groups are paying people to protest.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah,
And,
I don't want to talk about that. I'm just saying, you're not. You're very malleable as a person. You're. I mean, I don't know. I think people have a really hard time picturing themselves outside of their own little world, that they think they're the most righteous person on the planet, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like, especially in the, I'm sure the college environment, both of you have done some schoolwork, it's almost hypocritical, I guess, but it's not like you have really much of a choice. Your brain will find a way to get you to do what you have to
survive.
do. Basically.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
It's strong stuff,
Yeah.
really.
But one of
well, like,
go ahead.
my thought is like, I feel like that's the reason why I feel I'm more of a realist, because I don't really care about other people. I care about the people close to me. So, like, say if I was in that shocking experiment and the person was telling me and I knew who that was, I would rather switch places than shock the person that I care about, or
But
just have them killed.
it's a stranger.
Yeah,
But
I know.
You're at least honest and can admit it. There's, yeah.
I mean,
There's more than just these two. Yeah,
I mean, I feel this. I feel the same, but I mean that's because it's someone that like you're close with. I mean, for me, still, I feel like it would be difficult to do it to a stranger, but with someone else being like, "Oh, don't worry," it's like it'll be put on me. Like it's not even your fault. Like, yeah, just kill the dude. It's fine. I'm telling you to do it. So,
Well, not kill him. But
well,
yeah.
I mean,
keep going. Keep going with the
Yeah.
experiment. Or keep going with the, what's it called?
like the questioning or the
Yeah, questioning. Keep going with the interrogation.
yeah, because the point
interrogation.
was to shock them until they die, right? But like
Well,
it was an
It
That's
wasn't
not
until they die.
what they
It was
were
just
told,
to
though.
increase the pain
Yeah.
of it.
they were just told it was a
It's pretty much to
experiment
see if they
on
would continue to shock
Oh.
them. That's pretty much
They
what to
told
see
the-
experiment was.
the people it was a experiment on memory. So somehow that was supposed to help. I guess pain is supposed to help you remember better.
Well, yeah, it's hey, I don't want to get punished,
That's-
so I'm
yeah,
gonna
that's
true.
get this correct.
It's not. That's probably what the people were thinking.
Yeah.
It's not like they're saying, "Oh, I'm just supposed to keep going till I kill him." They're saying, "I have to keep going with this experiment so that the scientists can get their results."
yeah.
Basically, putting it off onto someone else.
I also feel like I would be like start like telling the person once I'm shocking him enough, like, dude, you have to get one of these questions correctly.
What's 2 + 2?
I'm tired of shocking you.
He's like 5. No.
I would shock him, just straight principle at that point.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because like if you're doing it off of like physical pain, then of course, I mean, it does. I guess it could match. It could match with memory, because like if you did something and it hurt really bad before, then obviously you're not going to do that again, or you know what happened.
Well, see, it also depends on where the electrodes are plugged up, because to quote the Joker, you never start with the head. So if the electrodes are on his head and you're shocking him, it's going to be scrambling his thoughts.
Well,
And that's all he's going to be thinking about.
you're not supposed to shock the head. I mean, I know they used to do that, but that's crazy. But one of the things that I did learn in my psychology class about the Stanford experiment was that the like conflicts with it being like 100% legit was like the fact that Professor Zimbardo was kind of guiding the whole thing. Like he was giving them, he gave them sunglasses to dehumanize them so that they would feel like they were not like they were above the other people, and that the other people would feel like they're no longer the same. And then like he gave them batons so that they would feel like they're they have the right to consider like physically enforcing the prisoners. So like he was guiding, as much as he says that it was an experiment between them, he was kind of guiding them too.
Yeah, he lost it a little bit throughout it, which he admits though.
Yeah.
Went too far, especially when he's talking about his colleagues coming down and saying, "What the hell are you doing?" And then him getting angry. It's a great experiment, can't you see what we're doing down here?
We're locking up students that aren't really in prison and then giving other students batons.
Hey, they were nightsticks.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but gives an insight into how situations like that can occur. Like when cameras are in prison and catch stuff like that, or in
Like,
Guantanamo.
Imagine if they were to do that
How things can
nowadays with
escalate.
like the college students nowadays. Oh my god. It would be yeah, and they'd be
There'd
like,
be a
I
lot of
need
crying."
my safe space. Give me my safe space.
My safe space. Where's my
Oh
phone?
no.
I'm having withdrawals over here. They're like shaking.
It's ridiculous.
Right. Any last words?
Yeah, got it out.
Pretty much said it. Oh, I go next, Summer.
From bad to the opposite. We're pretty much we're gonna be talking about the halo effect on this one, which is pretty much where you see people, the way they act, and you get like that. I like that person vibe from them, and like for one of the examples of the halo effect is Hollywood celebrities, where people readily assume that since these people are physically attractive, it also follows that they're intelligent, friendly, and display good judgments as well. This is also greatly applies to other well-known people such as politicians. So their experiment was he got two groups of people and played them a video of him lecturing, and he lectured in two different ways. A more respectable way, and then a more cold and like towards the students kind of way. And they were told to only judge him on his physical appearances, his mannerisms, and his accent. And it was the same in both videos, but in the good video, they saw him and the way he acted friendly towards the students, so they liked him more, so their opinions of all of that stuff was higher. While in the cold, like where he's cold towards his students, they all saw him more in a negative light, even though they were just doing physical appearances. And pretty much the halo effect is real, is pretty much what they're saying in this experiment, and that it's become a business model where marketing people use it,
for brands.
for brands, so that when you see that design and you're like, I like that design, automatically, kind of like Apple or other products of that similar nature. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Or do you guys see people in Halo effect?
Well, some of the things that you left out, you made it more complicated. The simple answer is if you see an attractive girl, you automatically assume good things about her.
Yeah,
She must be a
Stuff like
genius.
that. And then for brands, it's also they want to keep out like the child labor stuff out of the the papers. So you have a positive
Thought. Yeah.
influence on, thought. There you go, positive thought. And the other part of that experiment was they said, "Hey kids, our students, whatever, do you know why you rated him higher? Was it because he was nicer, he was friendlier in that video?" And they said no, it wasn't. And they were absolutely puzzled why they rated him higher in one and rated him lower in the other. And they insisted that his attitude did not affect their grading. So the more troubling part is that we can spread news, we can get the halo effect out there, but you don't associate it when you're actually judging someone.
It's like a subconscious thing that just happens.
Yeah. And that's the unnerving part, I guess, is you can know all about it, but fortunately, it's probably just because you know about it doesn't mean you're going to improve your thought process.
True. And also knowing about it might make you choose something that you otherwise would probably not choose. Just because you're trying to not be in the halo effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's really interesting stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
Trying to delve into the mind and then the subconscious part.
And that's really tricky. Like, I mean, not gonna lie, I'm a simple man. So, like, if something looks cool, then heck yeah. Like, like if something has a cool design, then I'm like, oh, so that must be cool. Like, it works. It definitely works.
Well, I feel like the halo effect happens with most athletes, right? Until they get caught on camera punching their wife. Like Ray Rice was like one of the most beloved people in the NFL, and then he punched his wife, and that died. So
what?
But then, like, him being on your favorite team, did that change your opinion, or did the halo effect?
I mean, the halo effect still kind of worked. Because,
did you not care?
I know it sounds messed up, but I mean, you can't be like spitting on people and like being aggressive towards them, and not.
Okay, stop. All right, just say yes, it affected you, and you still like it.
I mean,
unfortunately, don't go in.
Yeah,
we're not going to talk about domestic violence.
I mean, I think that he deserves a second chance if he's rehabilitated.
Maybe she deserved to get punched. You don't know.
He's the poster boy of the NFL's fight in domestic violence, so he's not gonna get reinstated ever. But they're also.
See, but I also feel like there's the opposite of the halo effect, which is where you see that person and you don't really know them, but you hate them. Their guts.
Yeah,
that's like the devil one.
Yeah, it has. I don't remember the words, but it's something like that. That is actually a thing. It's the opposite of the halo effect.
It's like, oh, I don't know that guy, but I just don't like
Tom
him.
Brady. I hate him. I hate his guts.
You don't know the guy.
I don't like his face.
You hate him.
He must be a bad person.
Same with like Le'Veon Bell and Ben Roethlisberger. I hate them.
Well, that's them being on your hated.
Yeah, but I still hate them.
But watch when they come to the Ravens and they play their butts off and like bring you guys to Super Bowl. It's like, dude, that guy's the best.
What's his name? He came to the Ravens this year. Their deep threat receiver that played in Miami and the Vikings.
Wallace?
Yeah, Wallace. Like,
that's right.
He's on the Ravens now, and I don't hate him.
He's garbage.
That's hilarious.
See, that's what I said. Oh, I probably shouldn't. Yeah, we're getting off topic. So, Joey, you can go.
Okay. Mine isn't really experiment though. It's just the split personality disorder, and if you guys think it's an actual mental disorder or if it could be something else, or if it's like just an act.
Oh, the multiple.
Yeah, personality, the dissociative identity disorder.
Honestly, I thought that was a made up word that they stuck in the movie. I honestly, it sounded like a made up word.
All right, wait. Let me introduce it, and then we can talk about it. Okay. So for mine, I decided to. Well, I didn't do a experiment, but I did a kind of health or a psychological kind of thing. It's the split personality disorder or dissociative identity disorder, which is a more scientific term for it. It's basically where someone feels or someone has different personalities, and they act it out, and they act each personality in different ways. So like, say this a guy has like a big buff, really strong guy, in his mind. So when he's that person, then he's all of a sudden really strong and really aggressive and stuff. And then he also has like a 10-year-old girl that he changes to as well. And when he's her, then all of a sudden he can't move the same things. He can't do the same things. He's mentally can't do this, think of the same things. And he feels scared instead of like, that's basically it. Like,
He's pretty much another soul
and they can't remember
in the body is what it's kind of.
Yeah, and it ranges from 2 to like however many different personalities. And people have been known to add personalities. That's basically it. They're saying, or it says most personalities are built around traumatic events that happen to somebody, such as, and in most cases, is abuse that causes different personalities to form or to come out. So what do you guys think about split personality?
I mean, I don't think it's it's not as literal as the movies and TV and stuff make it seem. I think if you went through something really horrible like that, you might like get put on a shell, and that might make you act differently. But it's hard because you don't want to dispute someone who's gone through something like that and swears that they have multiple personality.
Yeah.
But especially when I was in psychology, my professor said this isn't really a thing, or it's not as big as like the media makes it. How like just so many shows, the bad guys, just someone with multiple personality disorder,
Yeah.
and they make it seem really common. So it's either not real or it's very, very, very rare.
It seems super rare, more so, because like, I mean, do you feel like when someone is diagnosed with it, like, do you feel like it's them just because they've been abused the way that they normally are, they're trying to act like someone else, so they're not the person that they don't like?
My thought is that they mentally check out, like, so they're not there experiencing whatever happened to them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on autopilot when I was in school a lot.
Where
I wasn't really there.
Like, yeah, and then pretty much like, you know, in Click when he's fast forwarding, that his other self comes out where he's just like a robot. Yeah, kind of like that, where they check out and they're pretty much, they're not conscious anymore, and then whatever happens, and that's the reason why they don't remember any of the stuff.
Yeah, and then the other thing is, especially when you're really miserable, like a lot of people in high school, it's fun to act like someone else, which basically everyone did. Everyone does or did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But actually in the game Until Dawn, they had some extras, some videos, and one was on a documentary about Wendigos. And it sort of has to do with this. So some guy, probably, I don't know, it's Old West time, so maybe Native American or someone, or a pioneer. Him and his family were in the cabin, and then a huge winter hit, and they got buried. And his cabin is out of the main town, so when winter's done, he goes back into town, and his he doesn't have a family anymore. He ate them all. And he swears that the Wendigo spirit came in, and because that's what the supposedly Wendigos do. They find someone who's eaten some sort of flesh, and then you become one, basically. It takes you over.
Yeah.
So I think what happened was maybe one of his little girls died. He cooked her and ate her, and then he couldn't stop, and
You're shocked.
ate
I'm
his
a
whole
hungry
family.
boy.
And then I don't remember if he got hung or not, but he blamed it on the Wendigo, and that's sort of like the ancient version of this, I guess. What it sounds like.
Like they blame it on the split personality, or they use a different personality to blame it on them.
I think he's saying it's fake, and he's
They
making
might-
it up.
Oh,
They might really believe it because of they just went through something horrible, but
Yeah.
it's I personally don't think
Like
it's
the only way that I could actually like believe in that they actually like check out completely and someone else takes over is like in Split when she's talking about the people that regenerate their eyesight after being blind. Like if that's
Or like
yeah,
the
like stuff like that. If that happens, then yes. But
yeah, well, like things like that, and like being able to move like a car, and then being able to not move the
well,
car.
that could also be someone faking.
that's
I say I could pick up a car, and I'm like, I can't pick up a car no more.
But like, but I mean, even if they were like experimented on or like forced to try to do it, I mean, I guess they could be acting it, but I don't know.
is it most the
I feel
car
like-
like a charged event where your body just
Where you
gets it
you
done?
get that shot of adrenaline, and it pushes you. to move
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and
That's
then you can all of a sudden climb on walls.
that's not
That was the movie.
that's going into fiction. Yeah, well, just because I'm saying this probably is fake doesn't mean. I mean, mental illness is a real thing. That's unfortunately not studied enough, not discussed enough. Depression, the other mental ones. It's not split personality, but it's mood.
Moods.
Your mood
Yeah.
drastically changes.
Bipolar.
Yeah, bipolars, and
Yeah.
there's one that's just like that. That's
Schizophrenic.
similar, but yeah, that's one too.
But
And-
schizophrenic, they just hear voices and see things. They don't actually switch.
Well, yeah, my professor's what was the disease that the guy had in where he saw the Nazi? Was it Beautiful Mind or something? Was that schizophrenic?
Yeah,
Yeah.
was
That's
schizophrenic.
schizophrenic. Oh,
No,
is that
dementia is
dementia,
where
or
you
is that
slowly
just-
forget things. He was schizophrenic.
Yeah, my
Okay.
psychology professor, his friends developed into schizophrenic, and he had a Nazi that would talk to him and stuff like that too. And
Really?
that usually it's like a drastic change when you hit early 20s. It just clicks and you're forced to live with voices basically,
Jeez.
and people that you see and stuff. So we've all passed the age, so luckily none of us got it.
That's what you think.
I would like want Puff the Magic
the voice
Dragon in my head and like stuff like that.
The voice in my head says otherwise.
Like imagine if you had like one of like those high pitched like really annoying girls in your head, and you're just like, make it stop.
Yeah, then you're that guy that's screaming at yourself on the sidewalk.
Shut up! Why
Hey,
won't you
don't
shut
laugh.
up?
It's a real thing.
I didn't laugh, you two did, so my conscience is
I know what
good.
you're talking about.
I'm just saying that I feel
Alright.
like some situations would be worse than the others. Voices in your head, wise,
Well, usually they're not telling you. Well, whatever.
or just like someone that just
It's
won't
usually
stop
bad
talking.
stuff that they say.
It's like a buddy in your head, but they're always there.
Yeah, I don't think so. You can go look up schizophrenia after we're done with this.
Alright.
All right, on to the next.
All right, so my last topic is on an experiment by, I think her name was Miss Elliot, right after Martin Luther King got shot. And it was a classroom experiment where she wanted to teach prejudice and on a personal level, getting her third graders to experience it themselves. And she started the day with saying, "Oh, class, blue-eyed people are better than brown-eyed people. They're smarter, yada, yada, yada," going on. And then whenever a brown-eyed person would make a mistake, she'd be like, "Oh, that's a brown-eyed person forgetting their glasses or whatever." And made them put on scarves like the Jews had to do in Nazi Germany, except theirs was the armbands. And basically, it was also just an experiment to see how the kids would react. It didn't get out of hand, but it actually went pretty realistic.
Yeah,
those
it did.
poor
Surprisingly.
poor innocent children got traumatized. But
I'm sure they were never prejudiced, though.
well, so suddenly they like stopped hanging out with their friends because their friends had different eyes, different colored eyes, and they would make fun of each other. And then the ones that are being made fun of, one of the kids reacted and punched one of the kids making fun of his eyes
In the gut.
in the gut. And surprisingly, she switched also the next day, but surprisingly their not their IQs, but their performance on academic
They got stupider.
tests went down the days that you were told you're not good at anything, and then the days they're on top, they did better. And later on in the video, she sent her results to Stanford, and they're like, we have no idea what's going on. And after kids went through that forever for the rest of their life, for the rest of their schooling life, they did better academically than before. And really there's like so much that we could talk about for this, such as, the media sort of just nonstop talking about certain issues, and it gets ingrained in people's minds. And as my my college professor would say, he tries. It wasn't psychology; it was a race class. But he's like, how the teachers react to the kids can affect them too. So obviously, no teacher's like, oh, that's a brown-eyed person, when they mess up. But subconsciously, you don't know like what you're externalizing to the kids as a teacher, or just as people in day-to-day life. When you run across people, you might have subconscious ingrained prejudices about. So his example was like, oh, when he gives little Susie her test back, he's smiling because she's a cute little kid or whatever. And then next is little Johnny, and oh, Johnny's ugly. So subconsciously, he's like making a different face when he gives him back his test. So that's like one thing that people definitely pick up on, kids would pick up on. And also how certain people can just be not good at, I don't know, math, for example, because when you're little, first schooling, maybe you heard you weren't good at math, so it sort of creates a block in your mind, which is also, I don't know, you guys can talk, it's so weird that you can be forever upheld, exceeding, or forever pushed down because of what you, like, issues you perceive that maybe, I don't know, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I feel like Joey should talk since he's the only minority here.
I hate all races except Asian people.
He punches them in the gut.
No, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, it was like a race thing too, like the whole class divided like scenario.
Yeah, well,
experiment.
that was the 70s, but today,
Yeah, but yeah,
it can really apply to anything. But
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah, it can, and I feel like the media thing was like spot on, because if you think about it, the media can easily sway anything in any direction that they want to. Basically, they can feed people information, whether it be right or wrong, and people believe it. And like it shapes the way that people, it shapes the way people see things, because I don't know if it's just like nowadays, but people are very
People
ignorant.
are sheep is what they are.
Well,
Yeah.
also, it could just be from a very, very, very little kid how we watch too much TV these days. So those poor kids, stuck getting fed whatever information. And even if it's something that you constantly hear is not true, not true, not true.
Yeah.
When we're at Stars, way back, years back, at our sister's house, we'd stay up late so the news would come on, and then they'd have the stories of the day, and it'd always be some mugshot, some cracked out, and it was mostly a black male in his mugshot talking about how he did something horrible, and then every single day you basically get that.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's not the media's fault because they have to report the news.
But
It creates like a horrible positive cycle where it keeps going. Oh, this is what. So, just go ahead.
I feel like the media kind of chooses the stories that they place out too, or that they put out too. So I mean, it's not technically their fault because it's just things that are happening, but they kind of choose what they.
It's it's reality. The local news.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like also colleges are teaching like in those not ethics. What's it called? Race and ethnicity classes.
I took one of those.
Well, at least with my professor, they're pretty much teaching that pretty much everything you do is racist. There's no way you cannot be racist.
That's
like
true.
pretty much with me, I don't judge you by your skin. I judge you by how you act. And
But if you continued watching at the end, the girl who she's grown up because the class came back to talk about their experiences and watch the documentary, and her husband was like, I wasn't sure how she would react because he was enlisting in the army, and this is what I mentioned earlier, but I wanted to save it to here, is that in the military it's not about it's not really appearance or skin, our eyes, our hair, or anything, because you're all the same. They shave your head the same. You're molded to become the same, so you're basically brothers. And he was like, when I read this book, because there's a book about this, I realized that she'd have no problem with my brothers. And that's really the opposite. Like, people get onto the military, but they're bringing people together. Because you have to be able to have full confidence in your brothers next to you to be there when the shit hits the fan, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know, but my point was pretty much that the word like racism has been twisted. Like what was in that video was that's what racism actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like judging someone and thinking they're less than you because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then how that boy reacted back. It creates hatred, honestly, if you treat a subject matter like that. If you tell people from the moment they're born, you can't say these words, you are worse than that guy because has a darker skin color, so he's not a racist. Yada, yada, yada. It creates... And then they wonder why there's real racist. They're going about it the wrong way. An excellent point that I learned was the LGBT community.
Don't forget that important Q.
Don't forget the Q.
Wait, can you say it for our
LGBTQ
viewers since I messed it up?
community.
LGBTQ community was... Yeah, the Q's for queer, right?
Well, Skyler, you can't say that.
I believe so.
No.
No,
What
like-
they did... No,
like
some
legit.
I know.
Like
I know that
they're-
it actually stinks.
You're actually on the opposite of the point. Actually, you're right on it. What they did was queer was a real negative word and used to basically describe any person with a different sexual preference. So they embraced the word, made it a positive, started calling, it to each other, and suddenly what happens? It disappears. And that's really how you'd fix a problem like that. Not saying you cannot say that word, don't say it, because that didn't work. And their leaders were smart enough to realize that and said, hey, let's turn this around. And that's really what they should be doing with race relations, instead of making it worse by saying these people are above you, like the blue-eyed. You're a blue-eyed person, so you're above them. Or you're a brown-eyed person, so you're
below.
Above or below. Yeah. So
what about black people on the N-word? They call themselves that, but no one else can.
That's true. They could have embraced it, but
yeah,
maybe it's been too used derogatory for too long. So
that's true.
I mean, when we were in high school, everybody was saying it, so it's not like.
Hey, I never
I
said
didn't.
it.
But white people called each other it. Mexican people called each other it.
Asian people called each other it.
Yeah, it's basically homie was
Yeah,
the way.
but don't you dare
And
say it in front of a black person, because you did get on you for it.
uh, I think I saw, like, if they were friends,
Yeah,
they'd allow it.
if they were
But
friends, you could say it to them, but otherwise, yeah. But I feel like nowadays, if people are like using it to a like
Like a
black person
derogatory. Yeah.
derogatory, like in a derogatory way, I feel like the person that's
Just
using
gonna
it
get the shaker
just doesn't
trap.
have anything else. No, they just don't have anything else to say, so they're trying to deal for like a low blow, and I feel like most smart like black people like don't even take it as offense anymore. They're just like, that dude went straight for the in card because he thinks that's gonna
Well,
get
I
to
feel
me.
like
you've so you've witnessed stuff like that,
Yeah,
like direct
yeah,
racism.
or like when people call Asian people
have
chinks.
you ever been called a chink, Joey,
I have
by like
by
strangers?
people that drive or people that like drive next to me and stuff in certain situations, and like by people at work and stuff. It not my coworkers, but it happens. And when it happens, I'm just like, okay, like,
That's like the
really?
same way I feel about the word cracker.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, when they call you that, when they go straight for the race card, then automatically you're just like, okay, obviously this guy's trying to like low blow me, and obviously he has nothing else better to say, so obviously he's a terrible person and that he doesn't deserve my time.
Oh, and then sort of on the same subject. No, it's not really. Never mind.
What were you gonna say?
Since I worked in the library, I would sometimes, well, like on my break or whatever, I'd walk through the main library area and see all the different books. And there's like an empowerment section for girls or whatever.
Oh,
Because that was like a big movement, maybe 90s?
And
Girl
now,
power, stuff like that. Well, yeah. But it's not as. It,
well, they're fighting for different stuff now.
well, I don't pay attention, so whatever. Um, it was. And then there's a book in the section called The Left Behind Boy or something like that. And it was, I like read the back cover to see what it was about, and it was a study on how growing up as a, so it can sort of be like, because we're talking about race and all that, how if you're just constantly hear from like a little kid as a boy, girl power, girls can do anything, yada yada yada, how if you can't do it, you don't have that positive reinforcement to keep your confidence up, I guess.
Saying that you're less than a girl.
And then I was trying to think, no, because you're not told you can do it. You failed the test, you suck, Sumner. You're stupid. The girl fails it, hey, you can
don't
do
worry,
it.
try again.
Just have to study, yeah. And I was trying to think, like during our like high school days, if I could picture that. I know there were some really joker guys, I guess, that just didn't put any effort forward. But I think there were also girls that did that. But in, I didn't see it as big of a, like, wow, you're an idiot. You know? Like, if you guys think back, was it the same, boy or girl? Or could you see, like, that study having something to it?
I don't know. Our high school was kind of weird. It
Yeah,
it wasn't like a real high school. It was kind of weird.
And I guess my class was just worse than all the other classes, so
Uh,
it's more noticeable for me. Bunch of retards.
oh,
What was your point?
It was sort of like the brown-eyed, blue-eye thing, but instead of just being derogatory to the brown, all you hear is, go blue-eye, you
Yeah.
can do it. You got it next time. So it was like that with the whole girl thing.
but instead of actually saying like instead of saying brown eyes people suck, it's just giving reinforcement to the blue and giving no reinforcement to the brown eye.
Yeah. Which is what's happening in today, honestly, but that's more like race stuff.
That's like passive aggression, being
or
or
now it's
that.
called political
It's like
correctness.
well, it's like being aggressive. It's like
God.
being aggressive without actually being, or like hurting someone without actually hurting them.
So like saying, I'm not mad,
Well,
I'm just disappointed.
I honestly,
No, it's like
it's
saying
I was
it's like
joking.
saying-
It was
it's
a joke.
not at all.
It was a joke. No,
Are
I
you
do.
being?
That
Do
was
you
a joke.
understand what we're saying?
it's like saying it's like if I was like, Skylar, you did all right this week, but you'll do better next time, and then just not saying anything to you, and then just
Just
Sumner,
like staring at you when you go in the
Sumner.
paper.
I would just be like, I'll keep doing me.
All right, Sumner, he doesn't have anything to say.
I do not.
But I think it's actually, it might have, because aren't girls supposed to be bad at math? Like that was the whole thing. Like, have you guys heard
It's
that?
like math
I
and sciences
haven't.
and stuff like that. It's pretty much.
Is it?
It's well, recently they've been trying to get girls to go more into that because that was seen more as a man's thing.
Well, yeah, like I'm pretty sure that started with the whole girl thing. But when I go to work, and I'm in finance, which is the purchasing, and then obviously accounting's upstairs, and it's all women, honestly. There's the warehouse dudes, which are guys, and maybe like 2 or 3 guys up in audit or in accounting, and that's it. So I think it might have had like a negative effect from what I've seen, which I was shocked when I went up there, because when you think of accountants, you think of like nerdy white dudes, glasses,
hair slicked to the side, glasses,
And-
dress suit,
pocket protectors.
yeah,
and all that.
calculators, pocket calculators.
It was, yeah.
All right, so the last thing is pretty much a moral dilemma, and it's pretty much imagine a runaway boxcar heading towards 5 people who aren't able to tape the path. Maybe they're walking the opposite direction. They have headphones on. They don't see it coming. And then imagine that you were standing at the switch that switches tracks, and on that person there's only one person that's on it. Would you pull it, or would you just let the 5 people get hit?
On a sad note, when I was at Chico, train accidents happen so often.
Like legit train accidents,
Like not derailing, but it would kill someone on the
Trains are
like,
dangerous.
oh, like trains hitting somebody, or like train collisions.
yeah.
Like
Oh my
they start
Hitting,
drinking a
like,
little bit,
students
and
or
they
something.
start walking down the thing, or they go to
The
cross
train
it,
tracks.
and they try to beat it.
Oh my god.
And just
Or maybe they just don't want to
live anymore.
live, or I don't know. It was-
Suicide.
The,
by
mo-
train.
the weirdest death at my campus, a tree branch fell on a foreign exchange student, I think it was,
Are you serious?
and killed her.
That
Dude.
means that it's your time to go.
Where was she from?
And then I didn't really pay
Japan.
attention. I was just
Because
thought
if she was
that was
from
Probably
Japan,
Japan,
there was
yeah.
some evil spirit following her. So she came to America
like-
to run away from it. And it
right
followed.
after that. They trimmed all first they had the state inspectors come and check out the trees to see if the school was at fault, but they weren't. It was just a freak thing.
It's like a freak accident. Those are crazy. Those are weird.
I mean, she
So
was.
are we not doing
I think
my
sitting
topic?
on a bench underneath it. Well, it's sort of the same.
Okay, go on, Summer.
He finished, so you have to say.
Would you pull the switch? Would you kill the one person, or would you let the 5 people die?
How would pulling the switch kill the one person on the train?
The train track split,
Yeah.
and so you can pull the switch where the track switch to the other track.
And then have the train.
There's one person on that track, and then there's 5 people on the other track
gotcha,
that it's
gotcha.
heading towards. So for me, I said I would not kill. I wouldn't want to kill anyone, so I'd probably just yell.
You'd
But of
watch.
course, that's not one of the options.
You
It's
just
not one
watch
of
the
the
5
options.
people get ran over.
So yeah, I'm not gonna kill. I'm not gonna directly kill someone by pulling a switch. And
You know what? I would
Go ahead.
close my eyes and just constantly switch it back and forth until the train came, and whatever happens, happens. You know, it was meant to be.
Just
Yep, and then just
The train will probably derail and hit you.
hey, if that was meant to happen, that happens. Otherwise, I open my eyes and I just walk away, and I'll never know what happened.
You just turn around and walk away.
The screams. those
Cool
horrible
guys don't look at explosions. Alright,
But
and then...
if it was a real situation, is the train coming at me like full speed? Because
it's a runaway. It can't stop.
Okay, so if it was a real life situation, that means the people would have been close enough to me, because like if I switched the tracks, then it would kill the other person instantly, right?
No.
Or
like it
how far
switches
down the track are they?
Neither of them are paying attention. No one's paying attention to the scenario.
But how far down in the track are they?
Like 2 football fields. A football field.
That's really far.
Oh.
So,
and how close is the train?
Train is going to be passing you soon. Like, it's a split-second decision. Do you pull it or do you don't?
Yeah. You don't think about it. Just instinct.
I would do the left and right. Close my eyes and go left and right. If it derails, it derails.
So you derail and you kill the guy inside the train?
Hey, it's his fault for losing control.
It's not going to derail something. I mean, you're using your hands to pull a switch back and forth. It might like snap one direction and really hurt you, but
superhuman strength. Derail the train.
Snap it. Or say, I'll jump in front of it and stop it.
That's just going to kill you and the other people. There's no point.
So I said I wouldn't touch it, and Joey said he just randomly switch it back and forth. So go ahead, Sumner.
Alright. I wouldn't touch it.
Or no, that's not what you said before.
No. There's another situation where I did it. Where I took an active approach.
You're saying you let 5 people die, Skylar. What's wrong with you? That's what you were saying. And I was like, you're not killing them. Yeah, but you're letting them die. Just switch it and let the one person get run over.
Not
yeah, see,
necessarily. Because, I mean...
You have the power to stop it, and you don't. That's...
so, in the years...
De facto
year or something since we've talked about this, you've changed your mind.
Yeah, probably, because it's been like 4 years.
Skylar, he's seen
But
some
I still
shit.
haven't changed my mind on the other situation. Alright, the other situation is... You're up on a bridge, and the train tracks are going to hit the 5 people, and there's this really, 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 really fat guy sitting on the edge of the bridge, and you can give him a little push, and he'll land on the train tracks and stop the train and save the 5 people.
That's the same thing, basically.
The fat guy is not stopping the train. He'll just make a bigger explosion.
No. But in this scenario, he can't stop the train. He's so big that he can stop the train.
That's no different than the last one. The only reason you'd kill this guy is because he's fat, is what you're saying. But in the last one, it's just one person, and you haven't described him, so you don't want to kill him.
That person's going to die anyways.
No, wow.
He's going to have a heart attack.
Wow.
You're a horrible human being.
Hey, what can I say?
That's the way Sumner thinks.
What would you do, Joey? You'd push him, pull him back up, push him, pull him back up. Just keep doing it.
Yep.
See what happens.
You go up and
either his clothes will rip in a fall, or you lift him back up.
I don't think I can lift him back up. If I push him, that's it. It's over.
His clothes would rip, and then he'd be a naked guy in the railroad track.
Oh god.
Or he'd pull you off, and then you'd go on to the train tracks.
Probably.
Wait, so the switch is at the top of the bridge?
No, it's you push the fat guy to stop the train, or you let the 5 people get ran over.
Oh god. But like, do I know this fat guy?
No, you don't know any of them.
Okay, then fat guy's dying. Sorry, it's one person that's dying. Okay, what if he's a fat?
That's the same thing as the switch thing.
Yeah, but
what is wrong with you two?
But with the switch thing, I mean, with the switch thing, switching it back and forth, closing my eyes, I let fate take its course. But
it's kind of the fat guy's fault for sitting that close to the edge.
well, really though, what's he doing there?
Maybe I tripped. Maybe I tripped
Well,
and
maybe-
actually pushed him.
Well, I mean, or it could be. I mean, I guess in reality, in real life, if it came down to the situation, I wouldn't push him because that's me. That's me literally killing the fat guy. Like that's instead of a switch, that's me literally pushing him. Like I can get arrested for that.
But you decided you would push him. You just said that.
Yeah, but I mean, in real life, if I was on the bridge and there was a fat guy, so fat I probably couldn't even push him off the bridge. I don't think
No,
I
he's
don't
like,
think I would.
if you blow on him, he's gonna fall off the side.
How?
Like you don't even have to touch him.
So
It's a scenario.
so he's already falling off.
No,
So you have
he's
to-
like he's leaning so far forward. If you go behind him, go, he'll fall off.
He flinches and just. I don't think I could, because that's like killing a person. It's different than the other one. It's like legitimately firsthand killing somebody.
It's the same experiment. They just changed the lever to pushing a dude off a bridge.
Yeah, but you're literally pushing the dude off the bridge. Like,
And you're literally
Yeah, and the other
pulling
one,
the
you're
switch
pulling
to
the
kill the
switch,
other
letting
person.
you're actively killing the one guy that's on the railroad.
yeah, but I'm looking the other way, and I'm not. I don't care. Fate,
There's like
fate
a-
takes course.
Well,
'Cause-
yeah, fate would be those 5 people dying because,
Yeah, well then the 5 people would die because that's how fate had it set.
but you switching it back and forth is messing with fate.
Yeah, well, because I'd rather it just. I'd rather if whichever one is meant to happen
So
is going
you
to happen.
take the passive
Either way.
approach, pretty much.
Pretty much. I would not. I wouldn't.
I
I wouldn't
thought
deal
the
with that.
passive isn't.
Wait, the
It's
passive
not
is
bad. The passive's not
It's
doing
not
anything.
touching
yeah,
the lever.
The passive is not doing anything.
Neither one of them are supposedly bad or good. It's gray, and it's moral choices.
And it's
I
pretty
don't know.
much it's
But-
pretty much to see if you're a utilitarian. Would you sacrifice one or many? Is pretty much what it is. Are you Spock?
And you used to be a utilitarian.
But either way, I mean, in real life, I probably wouldn't be able to live myself after. Like
I would.
some hard stuff to get through.
I mean, as long as I don't visually see it, I think I'd be fine.
You're gonna.
Oh, it's horrible. The sound and all.
That's
that.
what I'm saying. Like after. Wait, you know how it
Honestly,
sounds like?
I wouldn't even be in
No.
this
I was about to
situation.
say. Yeah, but
It's a high impact, and it's gonna pretty much splatter.
Yeah.
whoever
and if it hits
how
five,
fast
if it
trains
hits 5 people, it's not gonna kill all of them right away. So they're gonna be screaming in pain
Yeah,
on the side.
so-
go. Yeah.
It's
but I
terrible.
would-
It's just
So my actual choice is I would nope out of the situation. I'd just call nope and then just walk away.
And just
I just
back up.
bounce.
Yep,
And
I'd
just
be
let-
gone. I'm not gonna be
And
around
then-
for that.
I'm
Dude, did you
pretty sure that's most people.
Dude, did you hear what happened? This train drove by, killed 5
No
people. You're like,
way.
what?
And I
No
was
way.
standing there right by the lever.
There was this really stupid guy by the lever, had a choice, and he just walked away.
Yeah.
Really, really dumb. All caught on camera.
Yeah.
It does sound horrible, but
That's the best option.
I guess it's better than. Dude, did you see that one dude on camera? He kept switching the switch left and right. He didn't. He kept on switching it left and right. The train killed 5 people.
oh, that was like a. If we're gonna talk about Until Dawn again, there was a choice in the game where there was your best friend is on one side, tied up, and then some girl you like is on the other side, tied up, and there's a saw going at
Hey,
them, and you have to
it's
choose who
not-
it goes to.
It's not just some girl. It's a girl you've had a crush on for a long
Okay.
time.
So if this was realistic, or if that happened to you, would you kill Sumner or your crush?
Goodbye, Sumner. It was nice knowing
No
you.
guarantee that she's gonna give you any.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Wasn't that like a scenario in Saw too? Like there was a guy, like it was almost exactly the same. There was a Saw, and the guy had to choose between his best friend or the girl, and he chose his best friend, and the girl ended up getting killed too. But it was like a fake trap. But I don't know.
I think you're are thinking of until now.
No, it was
And
Saw
you watched
because
a YouTuber play it.
no, it was Saw because it was the one Saw movie where
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what he's saying happened. It sounds familiar.
it was the one Saw movie where they said that it wasn't Jigsaw anymore because he wasn't giving them an option out.
the
He was just
girl?
killing everybody. Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
girl. She was just killing
It was
everybody.
when Amanda was just killing everyone.
Yeah, she wasn't giving them an actual
That's the
option.
third one, right? Or the second?
Thing. I don't know. There's so many. I have no idea. But I think I would probably choose Sumner. Wait, so I would probably
You
choose
choose
Sumner
to
and
kill
if
me,
it,
you bastard?
of course.
Because you're choosing who to kill.
Well, if I
Sumner-
choose to save you, will the thing just continue to saw the girl, or will it
Yes.
release Sumner and then we can both try to get her out?
No. Like, it's on a track and the blade's going forward, and if you push it towards me, it's going to go towards me. If you push it towards the girl, it's going to go towards the girl. And we're both strapped up, and it just continues until it saws you in half.
And you're behind, like, you're in a separate room where you can't
All
open
right,
the door.
Sumner, me or Sarah Underwood?
I mean, you, because I have a connection with you.
But what if Sarah Underwood was like, "I'll give you some. I'll give you some."
That's not worth it. The harder choice would be if it was between you and another friend that was like you.
Me and Skylar.
I wouldn't touch it. I just let it go whichever way it's gonna go.
Wow, it's just, whoever it starts with is just screwed.
Yep, I would just be like, nope, I can't choose. How about
that was my choice in the game. I didn't touch it.
Oh, what if it was like you and Skylar and only you could control the button?
Oh, that was later on
That
in the
was-
game.
yeah, with a
The
gun?
trap's coming down
Yeah.
on you, and you have to shoot the person across from you or yourself to stop it. So that's basically what you said.
All right, how about this? Justice or Justina?
I would save Jannalise.
Well, Jannalise isn't a part of this. It's Justice or Justina.
I'm just kidding.
Your brother or sister. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh God. I'd kill myself.
That's not an option.
I'd jump on the saw and just kill myself.
No,
and
you
then...
can't. You're in another room. Like, you're seeing this on the screen.
Oh God. Hey, you didn't answer mine.
For what?
You or Skylar?
I would choose myself. It's easier to choose yourself than it is to kill someone else.
Oh.
That's true. That way you don't have to live
Yeah.
with all those therapy bills. Just the other person does.
Imagine if you choose to have the saw kill you, and then after you die, the saw just goes the other direction, kills
See,
that
but,
person
like-
anyways.
When we do that, like, if it was between Skylar and Star, the only reason why I would choose Skylar over Star is because Star has lived longer.
She's had a good life.
Yeah, like, I would normally choose the younger person. Like, if it's...
So if it was Frankie or me,
Yeah, I would probably
kill
choose
me.
you, Skylar, to die. Just because Frankie hasn't lived as long.
But I mean, Justina and Justice.
I'm living my life to the fullest, though. Come on now. Frankie's gonna waste his life. Frankie, if you're listening, I'm just joking.
Oh
It's a joke.
no, but
Just a joke.
like between Justice and Justina, it's like what 4 years difference.
Yeah, that's why I said if it's enough of a difference. Otherwise, I probably couldn't touch it.
Yeah, because it's a 4 year difference. It's like that's near impossible to choose. If based on what you were saying.
All right,
That's
fine. How
impossible
about
to
your
choose.
mom or your dad?
Oh God.
Okay.
Oh God.
I think we've gone on too long.
All right.
There are some other experiments that I want to do as like honorable mentions real quick. One was they're trying to see if lifelong fears are genetic or from an early age. So the experiment's called Little Albert. So there's like a probably 9-month-old kid that they like traumatized.
9-month-old.
Yeah, or 9-month however you say that.
9 months old.
9 months old. Yeah. They like had a white rat crawl out, and of course he wasn't afraid of it. But every time the white rat would crawl out, they'd make a really loud noise, and they kept doing it until eventually, when the rat would come out, he'd start crying, without the noise. And they did it with like some other stuff too,
Jeez.
clowns or something like that. But yeah, that was really unethical. And then the other one was they're testing dogs to basically they'd ring a bell and then they'd shock them, give them a shock.
Oh, I heard about that one. Yeah, well, I learned that one in psychology.
Eventually, when they just rang the bell, they'd like act like they twitch or whatever, like they got shocked.
Yeah.
And then and then later on, they stuck them in like a cage with like a divider in the middle that they can jump over, and they'd ring the bell and shock them. The floor was electrified, and instead of the dogs jumping over, they would just lay down because they gave up basically, which it's sad. And then obviously they put new dogs in that hadn't gone through the bell shock thing, and immediately they jump over.
Yeah.
And that's called learned helplessness, which affects people not trying to get out of whatever situation they're in.
It's like abusers and stuff like that.
Yeah, just accepting it basically. So yeah, that's to end on that
Well,
note.
I just want to touch on one thing,
Such a dark note.
that fear thing.
Go ahead.
So, like, when I was little, I wasn't scared of goats. And I got rammed by one.
Are you really scared
I'm
of
not
goats?
scared of goats, but I have a deep hatred for goats now.
This sounds like Alcoholics
the same.
Anonymous. When I was younger, I wasn't scared of goats, but now
I mean, I hate
one
goats
time.
now.
I was bending over and that goat just came up behind me. Took me.
Nope, it rammed me into the wall. And now I hate goats.
It was a mother goat protecting her.
I was feeding the freaking baby. And I got rammed.
oh god.
Alright, see
All
you
right.
guys later.
Is that it?
All right, see you later.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you learned something. Yeah, look up these subjects we're talking about and check them out for yourselves.
And the most important lesson of this was that I hate goats.
Never trust goats.
Goats are shitty.
Bro code rule number 3. Don't let another bro get rammed in the back by a goat.
I was rammed in the front, not the back. I got rammed in the gut.
Bros don't let bros get rammed by goats.
Period.
Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.
See you next time.